Xtep is a hardcore, no-nonsense brand that lives by the elite runner's code, tough shoes for tough miles. But off the track, they are utterly superstitious, like refusing to use the number 4. In Chinese, the word for 4 sounds almost exactly like the word for death. Because of that, a lot of people consider 4 to be unlucky, kind of like how some people in the West to avoid the number 13. That's why their 2000 km series jumped straight from Gen 3 to Gen 5. Today, let's talk about the 2000 km 5.0 and 5.0 Pro. How they differ, and bigger question, can the Pro version beat the Evo SL? 你们好，我是辉。I started this channel to review Chinese running products. More importantly, it's my way of forcing myself to practicing spoken English. I'm self-sponsored and money doesn't grow on trees. Whether good or bad, I'm going to give you my honest review, without filtering. Let's dive in from the specs. The 2000 km 5.0 has a 22mm stack in the forefoot and 29mm in the heel. That's 2mm more compared to last year's 3.0. The 5.0 Pro bumps things up to 27mm up front and 32mm in the heel. Side by side, the differences is pretty obvious. One key point, compared to the 5.0, the Pro adds more foam to the forefoot, which naturally encourages a mid to forefoot strike, like the way humans are built to run. Both midsoles use Xtep Ace foam. From what I've gathered, the 5.0 uses ATPU materials, while the Pro uses PIBA. Visually, the foams look nearly identical. To the touch, the Pro feels slightly softer. I will dig deeper into how they actually feel on the run later. Both are size 45. Last year's 3.0 was a size 44 for me. This year's feel about half a size longer, not quite a full size. They weigh 269 grams and 244 grams. The Pro has more stack, but is lighter. After the basics, let's take a look at the details. Both have single-layered jacquard uppers. The main differences: first, the weave. The Pro's is more complex, with some varied density zones, while the 5.0's is more standard. Breathability is about the same. Second, the Pro blends in some softer yarns, making it feel softer to the touch. The 5.0 feels more robust, like it's built to last. On camera, both might look white, but in person, the Pro is more of an off-white, giving it a more premium vibe. Lacing-wise, the 5.0 gets reflective laces, while the Pro uses glow-in-the-dark ones. The tongue setup differs too. The 5.0 uses a mostly mesh tongue, with just a tiny bit of padding at the top. The Pro has a thinner, single-layered tongue connected via gussets. For heel counter, the 5.0 is more rigid and uses wing-like extensions from the midfoot torsion plate to clip the heel. The Pro just has a simpler shaped torsion plate in the midfoot, similar to the Evo SL. Overall, apart from the design language, the Pro does feel nicer in terms of the upper material quality. Fit-wise, even though the product page hints that this year's are wider, they feel about the same as last year's 3.0 to me. Moving to the outsole, since they've called 2000 kilometers, durability is a key selling point. Both have only about 30 kilometers on them so far, which is basically nothing compared to the advertised lifespan. One detail worth noting, the Pro adds an extra 1mm of rubber in the high traffic areas, like the medial forefoot side, compared to the 5.0. In my local running club, I've heard complaints about the foam being firm or that the shoe lacks personality, but never once about the also wear. Seriously, this thing might outlive me. With that out of the way, let's talk about the pros and cons of actually running in them. Compared to last year's 3.0, the biggest change with both 5.0 models is that the foam feels softer. But that's relative. Xtep is a hardcore brand. They rarely make plush rides. Compared to something like Li-Ning Red Hare 9 Ultra or even the Xiaonian, these are definitely on the firmer side. That said, it's not a harsh firmness. At easy paces like 530 to 6 per kilometer, they actually feel smooth and comfortable. Thanks to its thicker forefoot, the Pro feels a touch more cushioned for me, absorbing impact better than the 5.0. When doing heel striking, the differences between them shrinks. As mentioned in the specs, the Pro adds more foam to the forefoot with only 3 mm extra at the heel. I can feel a slight improvement in cushioning, but it's not dramatic. Picking up the pace to around 430 to 5 per kilometer, I struggled a bit with both. I wouldn't call them uncomfortable. They are perfectly fine if I just want to cruise, but they are definitely not bouncy or energetic. A better way to put it is they lack efficiency. The 2000 km series is really popular among runners here. Someone in running club bought a pair right at launch. And this screenshot sums up exactly how I feel. With minimal energy return from the foam, I end up relying more on my own raw power. Remember, the 5.0 uses ATPU, while the Pro uses PIBA. They do differ slightly in cushioning, but neither gives me that pop or that kind of a little cheat I get from some other shoes using similar materials. They are not sapping energy either, but for me, I'm not getting a speed bump in exchange for that firmness when I'm trying to pick up the pace. So they just feel a little bit firm for no reason. And I haven't taken either past 15 kilometers in a single run yet. With my biomechanics, over more miles, they just send vibrations up my leg. Even the Pro's thicker foam doesn't quite offer enough cushion for me on longer distance. I didn't quite feel like the shoe was squishing down as much as I wanted it to. Heel strikers and runners over 75 kilograms will probably have a much better experience than I do. Honestly, a lot of this comes down to the cost. Even the pricier Pro model stays under $60. From a business angle, when a running shoe's main selling point is durability, it's a given that the foam can't be too soft or super bouncy. Soft bouncy foam materials either cost a fortune or degrade fast if you go cheap. People expect outsoles to wear down. That's normal. But if the midsole foam dies before the outsole, that feels like a quality failure. And that's why the 2000 km series may be never going to be soft and bouncy. Before wrapping up, I want to compare these shoes to a few others to help you decide. Let's start with the 5.0. In its price range, the Li-Ning Red Hare 8 Pro is a serious competitor, especially in the forefoot foam. The 8 Pro feels more dynamic and squish, and there is a lot of movement of foot through the foam. It's noticeably softer than the 5.0 and offers better energy return. Both shoes actually use similar torsion plates, wing-like extensions on both sides for extra support. But because the 5.0 has a firmer foam, it ends up being a bit more stable than the 8 Pro. If you don't need that extra stability, the 8 Pro is absolutely the better pick. Now, let's talk about the 2000 km 5.0 Pro versus the Evo SL. At slower paces, when landing on the hill, the Evo SL feels a little softer than the 5.0 Pro and does a better job absorbing impact. But once you speed up, we are back to the same old issue, energy return. The Evo SL foam simply gives back more. It feels more efficient. My Evo SL cost around $85, and the 5.0 Pro was about $49. The performance gap isn't as big as the price differences might suggest. More specifically, if you are a mid-foot striker like me, the 5.0 Pro can't replace the Evo SL. The Evo SL's foam is on the firmer side too, but as a trade-off, you get really good responsiveness. For heel strikers, the 5.0 Pro performs very close to the Evo SL. Their midsole geometry and the rocker profile are very similar, and the heel-to-toe transition feels pretty much the same. For heel strikers, the 5.0 Pro really does offer great value. Plus, if you need a bit of extra stability, the 5.0 Pro is actually better than the Evo SL. Next up, 5.0 Pro versus Xiaonian. The reason Xiaonian stands out this year has a lot to do with its lightweight build and the continuous rocker curve. Lighter shoes just make running feel easier, and when you add that rolling curve, your body naturally leans forward. It feels like your whole gait cycle speeds up. When I A/B tested them, the differences was huge. That continuous rocker isn't a super complex or hard to manufacture feature. It's purely a matter of product positioning. The 2000 km series was built to double as a daily trainer and a casual shoe, much like how the Evo SL blew up beyond running circles. Even non-runners buy it because it's comfy for walking. Xiaonian, on the other hand, is a more serious running shoe. I really enjoyed it for running, but I didn't like it as much for walking because that transition felt a little awkward at a walking pace. But again, the 5.0 Pro's low energy return is always a drawback, and its foam still can't match Xiaonian's. At the end of the day, I would recommend both of these more to heel strikers and runners over 75 kilograms. They are pretty good at easy paces, and they are flexible underfoot. They can handle some faster running too, but you will be relying more on your own. For daily commuting and casual wear, they are really comfortable. And aesthetically, the 5.0 Pro takes some not so subtle cues from Evo SL, but then makes something its own style. That's good. Alright, just packed in too many shoes in this video. I'm sure I missed a few details. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions about these shoes or tips for improving English speaking. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I'll be bringing you more on Chinese running products. Follow if you are interested, and hope you have a good one.